All right,
All right,
Milo.
we're ready. All right, let's get the show started. Here we go. Julie and Milo show is here today. You don't want to miss a single word they say. Bringing you founders from a near and far. Listen as they tell you now just who they are. Listen to the stories and how they tell. In just 3 minutes, how they're doing well. Telling us what it's all about today. And how they're loving that on passive, way on passive. It's a here today on passive. There's just no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show. Then you can be the very first to know on passive. It's a here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way Wednesday night on passive. Oh yeah. Julie, take it away, Julie.
Thank you, Milo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today it's April 13, 2022. Welcome to the Julie and Milo show. Welcome all of our friends and family around the world joining us today. My name is Julie. I am coming to you from Orange County, California. My dear friend, Milo. Milo, if you could please say hello to everyone.
Hey, how you guys doing? It's good to have you on the show. Because remember, if you wasn't on the show, we would not have a show. It's Milo from Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you so much, Milo. Welcome all our friends all around the world. We do have a lot of us from the United States. We have friends from India. We have friends from Africa. We have friends from Asia. Everyone's is joining us all here because of OnPassive. And OnPassive is making such an impact in so many people around the world. And the person that started that whole entire OnPassive movement is Mr. Ashmore Fard. As of today, many of us are no longer call him the CEO of OnPassive anymore, but we are calling him our friend, our brother. And we're so grateful to what he did for all of us is to give us the gift of a lifetime. And this gift take many of us to start giving out to the world. As I always say, it's a blessing, and it takes every single one of us to share that blessings around the world. We'd like to welcome all of you here to the Julie and Milo show. And today, Milo, as we have said, today is truly an open mic, open topic. Anything you would like to speak today is totally open. It's out there. And that's what the Julie and Milo show is all about. We would like to bring anyone who would like to come out, who would like to take time to express their feeling. This is truly, I feel, and I'm very sure Milo feel, it is a very safe place for you to be here. And if you are in it, just know that you are going to win. And if you are in the Julie and Milo show, just know that you will have the space, right? The space, and also the encouragement for you to come out and speak a few words or say hello. Just literally introduce yourself to the world. Milo, I'm sending it back to you, Milo.
Absolutely, Julie. This is a wonderful format that we can do that. You can come out and talk about whatever you want to on passive. And I'm telling you right now, man, there's just so many things going around. It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on. So if you got something that you've seen that you liked, or you were on a webinar and something come up, man, feel free to bring that up and let's talk about it. I will tell you that if we don't have hands come up today, it's okay. If there's not a lot of hands or whatever, then we'll just move on. But we feel like that it'd be good to allow people to come out and talk. So we're looking for hands right now. So does anyone want to be the first to come up? And there's one right there. Patricia Parent, come on down, girl, and talk to us.
Hello, Milo and Julie. Thanks for this time to speak my mind. I'm so excited about Friday. It's Good Friday here, and it's going to be super duper duper exciting on Friday for OnPassive. cannot wait. I want to thank Lister for jumping on my live today. It was awesome. We went a little longer than we should have, but we couldn't stop talking about On Passive and what's happening on Friday. So we are really excited. I know I am. I keep pinching myself, and it's crazy, crazy exciting. So I just want to say, founders, you better be there Friday, because you don't know what you're going to miss. Thanks, Julie, Milo. I'm just excited.
Thank you, Pat. I'm so glad you're here. And boy, I really have to tell you guys, if you had been on the phone with Pat, you know this lady, she is keeping go. She's not letting anything stopping her, right? Going from, I remember the moment when I first chatting with you, Pat, you were like, no, Julie, I don't want to do that. You know, I have this things that I can't wait till the Apple comes for me to do this and fix this. And, you know, and then as we going along the way with On Passive, she's like, all right, I'm ready for an interview with the Julie and Milo show. When I first met her, beautiful smile, that spirit, that energy, you know, just exude in her. And then she would not allow or put anything obstacles in her life that stop her from sharing On Passive. She took every chance to share On Passive, and then she's decided to do live, and now she is a live monster. So if you have not seen Pat Parent or Patricia Parent, look for her out there, share her message out. It's the spirit and is the On Passive. Right. So thank you, Pat, for coming on here today, and continue to do what. Thank you. Continue to do what you're doing, and also, you know, encourage other people to do so. Thanks so much, Pat, for being here. All right, Judy Oliver, I see you have your hand raised.
Hi, Julie. I just wanted to say how impressed I was with Chris's webinar. I think it was last night. And how many professional people we have on Passive, and how dedicated everybody is, and how everybody just is so passionate about helping. And I think we all realize now that this really can happen. We're not just going to be talking about it, we're going to be making it happen. And I just wanted to just say kudos to Chris for taking this on, and to everybody that's going to be involved in it. And I can't wait to help. I really can't. So I just wanted to thank Chris and everybody else that was a part of it. It was wonderful.
Absolutely. It was an awesome webinar last night, Judy. And you are right. There is so many professional people and people that have stepped up to the plate. And that's what it's all about. That's what On Passive is all about. We are going to change the world one person at a time. It started with Ash Mafaro and it continues to us, you know. And that was a great show last night.
Yeah, it sure was. Can't wait to get started with it. Thanks for letting me talk.
Yep, it won't be long now. That's for sure.
Sure won't.
Awesome.
Absolutely, Judy Oliver, thanks so much for jumping on here and share with us as well. We know that you did a live event with Lynn Nakamoto and Judy Miller, and I'm glad that you are here. Looking forward to someday we're all sitting down together and have you doing, you know, Julie and Milo's show and do an interview with us, just so that we know a little bit more about you, Judy. So
absolutely, I would love it.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much for being here, Judy. I do know that Marty and Mike Ellis are in the house. I know Marty has turned on his camera. If Mike is here, also would love to see, would love to have both of you say a few words. Say a few words today. I also see Chris is in the house also. Many of us, I believe all of us are in here for a good reason. Welcome, Mike, to the show. I haven't spoken with you since the last time we had an interview with you. Would love for you to please open your mic and maybe say a few words to us, please.
Yeah. Hi, Julie. Hi, Milo. How are you doing?
Mike, good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I've kind of been in the background for the last couple of weeks, and really I've just been listening to everybody, listening to the founding members, obviously listening to Ash Mufareh very intently. And a lot of really good things that the founders are talking about. I love Oh Bless. I love what Chris is doing. I love the enthusiasm that the founding members bring to the table as far as wanting to help the world and change the world. And that will all pan out. I think Unpassive is going to do some extraordinary things. But my focus today, it is on the business of Unpassive, because without the business of Unpassive launching to the world, we really don't have anything. And if you listen to Ash Mufareh last Monday, and I did, Ash Mufareh gave us the roadmap to the global launch of Unpassive. He told us everything on Monday, if you were listening closely. And when he starts to talk about the marketing plan and what he's doing and what's coming and how it's going to unfold, he literally told us exactly what's going to happen between now and the global launch of Unpassive. Now, Ash, he never gives us a time frame on it, because that's the way marketing is. When you're marketing and branding yourself, you can't put a time frame on it. But if you've been in marketing for a while, as I have, as Marty has, as other people here have, you kind of get a really good feel of the progression of what Ash is doing, starting with this Friday with what he's going to be doing in
Dubai.
In Dubai. Thank you, Milo. A little brain freeze there. And that's where it all starts. And he really did give us a roadmap from there to the next marketing campaign, to the next marketing campaign, to the founding position being closed. When the founding position gets closed, what do we do? If you just put everything together, when we get to that place where Ash says, okay, we have enough founders that have come in, we've run the marketing campaign, we've brought in 100, 200, 300,000 founders, whatever he's going to do. And I'm sure he has a milepost for that. When he does that, the launch can't be that far behind it, because as founding members of Unpassive, we have to be able to do something. We have to either be able to bring in founders, or we have to start bringing in independent resellers, or we have to start marketing products. So what Ash shared with us Monday, if you caught everything he said, you're going to know exactly what's going to be happening. You don't know the time frame yet, but again, if you know a little bit about marketing, how long it takes to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, you're going to have a really good understanding of when those apples are going to start flowing for all of us. And then from there, what we can do with the income that's going to be coming in, the financial independence that we're going to have, and then we can put together all these other unique ideas that the founders have to really help the world. So I've really just been listening for the last couple of weeks, Julie and Milo. It's been really interesting. And again, Friday, it's going to be awesome. But I think it's going to be happening. And Marty said this a little bit ago. He thinks it's going to be happening every couple of weeks. Ash is going to have a really big event every couple of weeks. And I see that happening too. And those events, as you pay attention to them, are going to give you a better, clear idea where we're at, how far we have to go. And that's where we want to be. We want to get to that place where we're launched to the world. And now we put all these wonderful ideas into action and make them happen. And I know with the founding members of Unpassive, 1.2 million strong, there's nothing we can't do. So it's been a good couple of weeks just listening, Julie, and it's going to get better. So that's what I've been doing.
Thank you so much, Mike, for being here with us. And you absolutely right. Without the business side of Unpassive, there would probably not be Unpassive at all. Since you are here, and deep down in my heart and many people's heart here, Mike, you are the educator. You are the teacher, for a lot of us, because you have been putting a lot of materials out there for all of us. And I do know that there's a lot of people who is watching right now via YouTube, probably wanted to know a little bit about that business of On Passive. So Mike, I wanted to take this opportunity here. If you could please tell the world, what is the business of On Passive? I know we have that every week, but we might have one or two that is joining us today that's not really sure what On Passive business is all about. So if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I can do that, Julie. That's a big question. I can boil it down very, very quickly and tell you what On Passive is going to do for you. And most everybody here has heard this 1,000 times because I've said it 1,000 times. And as far as being an educator, Julie, I'm a student, really. I continually learn. And when you have someone like Ash Mufareh, you better be on your feet because he's going to teach you things just about every week. When people come in and look at On Passive, new people looking at On Passive, and we all came in the same way. The only thing we're interested in is what can On Passive do for me? And that's okay. We all want to get to that place of financial independence. And the question we all have, what is On Passive going to do for me personally? How is it going to affect my bottom line? And how am I actually going to make money online? Because we all know that 97% of the people online, they don't make a dime. That's just the way the numbers work. And when you look at On Passive and you start to realize what Ash Mufareh has put together, the structure of On Passive, what he'll do for you, it's really, really hard to believe it because it's never been done before. And when people tell you these things, you just go, well, and this is the way I took it the first time I heard Ash. I said, that's what I've been looking for my whole life, but it can't be done. You can't do that. You can't do what Ash Mufareh is doing, but you can. And Ash has done that. And today it has become a reality for all the founders that are here today. So what is On Passive going to do for you? Just very, very quickly. They're going to come in, they're going to develop a sales platform for you. They're going to hook up to AI. On Passive is an AI IT company, artificial intelligence, informational technology company. They're going to hook it up to AI, make sure it makes your marketing platform 100% automated. When that happens, On Passive is going to come back through. They're going to start driving traffic through it. That's good qualified eyes in front of what you're trying to sell, which is the products of On Passive. And as customers come in, On Passive is going to manage everything, 100% automated. As they come in and look at the product, On Passive is going to manage that. As they buy the products, On Passive is going to manage that. As they use the products, On Passive is going to manage that. So it really is 100% automated business that you can come in and participate with On Passive. That really is the nut and bolts of On Passive. That is what they're going to do for all of us. Where it gets really, really exciting when you start talking about On Passive is the sheer volume that On Passive is going to be doing and the amount of customers that's going to be coming in and landing in each and every one of our organizations. Now, Ash, just a little while ago, he talked about business. He talked about sustainability. He talked about what On Passive was going to be doing. And when you start to look at the products of On Passive and just how good they are, he's right. When On Passive launches to the world, especially with what Ash is doing right now, when he launches to the world, we will be the hunted. People will come to us. They're going to have what we have because the products of On Passive are so superior. When people look at them, they're just going to go, I'm in. They don't care about costs. They don't care about anything. They just want to come in. And when you start to think about our market, our global market, the number of people that are going to be coming in, it's been estimated that On Passive will bring in 100 million customers the first year. I think they're wrong. I think they're way off the mark. I think it's going to be much more than that. And when you look at that kind of volume coming into your organization, and then you look at the structure of On Passive, which we could talk about maybe another time. But when you look at the structure of On Passive, Ash has set it up so you cannot lose. You will succeed. You will make money. You will get to that place where you don't have to worry about finances. So when you start to think about the way On Passive is structured, what they're going to be doing for you, the sheer volume that's going to be coming on because of what On Passive has done, because of what the tech team has done in Hyderabad, because of what the founders have done, you can get very, very excited about your future because financially it's about to change. And then once you get into On Passive and you start to hear all these other things, wonderful, wonderful things that the founders are doing, Ash is doing, you all of a sudden, not only does your outlook on finances change, but your outlook on what you can do in the world, how you can improve the world, how you can make things better for many, many people around the world. All of a sudden your life gets very, very exciting. So that's just very, very quickly, Julie. I mean, I could talk about this for 3 hours, but I think that's good enough for the new people that are here. Continue to explore, continue to come to webinars. Everybody here has great things to add to what I've said that add value to what you're looking at to OnPassive and how you're going to participate coming in and becoming a founding member of OnPassive. Don't wait too much longer, because that position, it's about gone. And there's a lot of benefits to that too. Again, we could talk about 3 hours, Julie, but that's good for now.
Wow. Thank you, Mike. That was awesome. That's just what we needed to hear, man. You said a whole lot in a few minutes, you know, and some of us that have been here for a while and we was in that marketing game. I remember when Candace Keller, she told me about OnPassive and said, he'll do this and he'll do that. And back then, you know, we only had those 2 videos or whatever. And what she told me, I said, Candace, that's great. That's utopia, but it can't be done. It won't be done. And that was my thinking, you know, at the time. And then, like I've told many times, I drove away and that voice said, what if it is true? What if it is true? You know, and I kept saying, well, it's not. And what if it is? And now all of a sudden I find out that not only is it true, but she only told me just very little bit of the tip of the iceberg. Now, as I see it in action and I see this stuff coming together, I'm telling you, if you are a founder, you are in a great place. And it's just some good things coming up, and all of us should be excited about what's fixing to happen. And I see my friend, Mr. Marty's got his hand up. Marty, come on down, because I know you got some good words. Come on
And
down.
Milo, before Marty comes on, you're right. It is real. It is true. It's a reality today, but you've only seen about 10%. That's how much better it is. Marty, go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I talked to Mike an hour ago. He thought he's going to come in and just listen. There you go, Mike. There you go. Anyway, that's all I got.
Oh, come on, Marty. You can't stop with just that. Tell us something about 360 Live today. That was an awesome show you did there.
Yeah, it works pretty well. You feed off each other, really. That works every time. If you can have a team or you work with others, and it's much easier just feeding off each other. Plus, we're at the part in OnPassive that I really enjoy. I love marketing. I love anything to do with branding. I've done enough of it that I can see that if you do it right, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. And because Ash doesn't think like a normal human being, here I go again, bad mouthing Ash. No, but because he's not a normal human being, flat out, thank God, he thinks outside the box. He's always looking for other ways. It's going to do very well for all of us. Big time, big time. Yeah, no doubt about it. And we've done it. I mean, we did really small scale of that. And when you have to, when you practice different wording or different images, and you're doing it over and over and over, it might take 3 months to get something that goes boom. And one time we did it and it went viral. We had a million hits. But it doesn't happen every day. But if it's going to happen, it will be with Ash Mubarak, no doubt about it. And he'll do it until it does happen. Just like he said, when that iPhone was ready, nobody even asked what it cost. They were tripping over each other to spend $1,000 on a phone, tripping over each other. And then a year later, they shine it up, paint it green, and sell it for another $200 more. And nobody even questions it. No one, and you know what that is? That's marketing. That's what we're doing. You got to just sit back and enjoy the ride. Because when we're done with the marketing and he turns that faucet on to resellers, customers, whatever, it's going to blow you away. I guarantee it. It will blow us away. Yeah, that's all I have.
Wow. Wow. I cannot believe what we have here today. You know, always when we do Julie and Milo show, we're like, it's an open mic, open topic. We'll say what we wanted to say and have people to say. And I'm so glad today that Marty talked to Mike and Mike showed up, and I just kidnapped him and have him do a little presentations, right? I'm so glad that you both are here. And you know, a lot of us wanted to hear a lot of things from you. So Mike, you're not going away yet. I wanted to actually talk to both Mike and Marty as well, though. You both have started on Passive Nation, and it is a cultural where I feel that it started from On Passive Nation, and then it grew into the entire On Passive cultural, because I believe that's where On Passive Nation is where everything really, truly, the culture started it. So Mike or Marty, anyone could start first. Please talk to us about that culturals that we all get to be part of. It doesn't matter, Mike or Marty goes. Mike, please go first.
Yeah, I'll start it, Julie. You know, Marty and I, we've been doing this a very long time, and we know who we are. We know the people that we are, which is really important if you're going to try and do something online and actually build a culture. So it was very, very easy for us to get like-minded people to come in and work with us, because our culture is very, very positive. We know what we can do. We know what people can do. We put a very, very high value on people and building relationships. And when you do that, what you do online, it becomes a joy. Now, the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years, it was just kind of the three of us. It was Dan, Marty, and Mike. And we had a lot of success online, but there were things we could not do because we didn't have On Passive. And when On Passive came into the framework, it really gave us the opportunity to spread our wings, because now you have such a positive message that you can bring to people, a message that will change lives. It's what we were looking for probably 12, 15 years. And that's Ash Mufareh. Ash Mufareh put that structure together. And then we came in and we did our thing. And luckily, and believe me, guys, this was not all roses and wine. It did not start out well for us with Ash Mufareh and On Passive. And we won't go there today. But there were some times there where we're going, oh, crap, you know, what's going on here? But because of who we are, Ash is who he is. We are who we are. And he saw who we were and what we were trying to do. And he liked what we were doing. And then you put Marty's personality up there and Dan's personality up there. And for me, it's magnetic. It just brings you in. You want to be there. You want to listen to them. You want to hear what they have to say. And like the round table, when you get together and you can toss things around, it just gets really, really fun. It would blow your mind if we talked about where we thought On Passive was going to be in 365 days. It'd blow your mind, because we're and Ash won't let us talk about that stuff, but we can talk about it to ourselves. And when we do, and really everything that we've talked about, it has come into fruition. And now Ash is even crazier than Marty, which is absolutely amazing. So, you know, the culture that we put together, it was natural for us. It's who we are. And really the people that we deal with, all the founding members, there's nothing special about us. You're just like we are. We're the same. There's no difference. We've just been expressing it longer than you have. And over time, the stars are going to come out. There are going to be a lot of great people in On Passive that are real big leaders in On Passive, because that's what On Passive needs. And you're here. All of you are here. And that'll come into play, I think, very, very quickly. Marty, what do you want to add to that? I don't know if I made any sense or not, but.
Not too much to add, Mike, but I'll try. No, we got, like Mike said, we've been together about 10 years. And I feel that I've been looking for on passive from the day I got online, 2004. It wasn't there, obviously, but that's what we were looking for. We didn't know it wasn't there. Thank God I didn't know, because I might have gave up, right? I mean, years and years ago. And then when it was just at a time where I was thinking, I'm not going to do this anymore, only because, all right, so now you get to the point where you can build a big team and you're looking at people's face or you're talking to them and say, I'm going to help you do real well. And I couldn't, Mike couldn't, Dan couldn't. And you feel like you're lying to them. So we were ready to either throw in the towel or do something, build something on our own. And that takes a lot of money. And I don't know how much more I could squeeze out of Dan Street. But anyway, what happened was we, when we run into Ashley Farm, we see how that was. I remember we all signed up in one day, within hours. I went there, I listened to Red and Peter and asked about 4 or 5 questions. Okay, boom, I'm done. Went back to, you guys know the story, went back to Mike and Dan and they signed up and boom. And then we set up goals maybe the first week. Because of our system, and because of what works for us, is you got to build relationships, which Julie and Milo did for over a year now. That's very important. You can't look at people like a number. I hated it. I don't like doing it. I don't like when other people do it. And I got far enough up and met enough people that did very well, millions of dollars they've made. And I've chatted with them and talked to them and found out there is no golden, magic wand. There isn't one. And even they are not telling you the truth. And at that point, I said, something's got to give. And to be able to fall into passive or delivered to me is how I really think what happened. And then to meet Ash, because I'm really, my passion is people, not so much a business or tools and all that. Because if you can find the right people, you can build an empire, right? So from the very beginning, any Zooms we did, I'm always looking around, who's a little bit different? Who's just a little different? And I'm not talking about looks, I'm talking about what's coming out of their mouth. How do they say something? And I find someone like that fascinates me. So I automatically push them above me if I can. I have no pride about, oh, he knows he does. To me, that doesn't work. You're only as strong as your next link, right? But you guys did the same thing. You empowered people every day, week after week, and that's what works. And, when Ash came back to us and said, we need more leaders, whatever, I went on the hunt because because it's important to the company. And in this last 3 years, I mean, everyone here, you got to honestly be serious. You guys are not the same people you were. Inside, morally you are, but some of you wouldn't even turn on your camera 2 years ago. Much less put your name on there. In fact, you wouldn't even come on the panel. And now there's people here doing lives every day. Really, I mean, that says a lot. That's what separates a big company from a movement like passive. Passive is going to enter the arena as Mike Tyson when he was 21. Nobody's going to push us around. They're not even going to think about it. You don't come into a business with over 1 million people and a multi-unicorn company on day one and get pushed around. Do I think people will come up and offer Ash money? Many zeros. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he already was offered. But the point is, that's not why he's in. Yes, he's that crazy. It has nothing to do with that. So we're very fortunate. We're going to keep growing. When you see the marketing and new stuff, and by the way, don't tell anyone, but the meeting is Friday. It will be 12 noon. Okay, so but don't say that came from me. But there'll be more info to come. And as soon as I know more, he left me like 3 or 4 voice messages. And well, anyway, you guys know Ash, right? But anyway, it looks like it will be definitely Friday, and Friday at noon is a big deal because why? It's 8 o'clock in Dubai. It's prime time. Okay, so it looks like a big thing happening. When the link comes out and when things happen, get in there because it's probably going to close out at 20,000 again. And anyway, when I get the final stuff, I'll post it all over, or Julie will. Somebody will, that's faster than me, and we'll tear it up. But that's the plan right now. It looks like it's 99% that that's going to happen. Anyway, that's all I got.
All right, Marty, I appreciate that. And Mike, man, and Dan, you know, you guys have built the culture. You guys were the leaders, you know, and it's always great to follow someone. And I thought as you was talking, you know, kind of a lot of us marketers, you know, I had went through the MLM thing, and it's like, okay, I could do it and usually I could get some people in, but then all of a sudden people start falling off at the bottom and they got to buy their product or whatever. And I just got tired of it. It was like, man, you're always having to rebuild. What a fresh of breath air on passive is, because you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to get lotions and potions and whatever and pay this monthly fee. It's all done for you. It's a beautiful thing. A self-funding application. Who's ever heard of that? It's never been done before. Thank you guys for all you did. I wish I could have met you in Boston, but I'm going to see you at the next place or whatever. I will be seeing you soon. So next up, we got none other than Mr. Bruce, Almighty Florida. Come on down and talk to us, brother.
We're coming back with Mike and Marty after, just so that you're staying here with us. Brucey. Bruce, we can't
Bruce,
hear
you're
you, Bruce.
muted.
You could unmute your mic.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Very good. Now I'm muted. Okay, what a surprise to be called so soon. I want to thank Marty and I want to thank Mike for being here as long as he had. And I want to thank Red and I want to thank Peter Rogers. Incidentally, when I started, Peter had been on a webinar and he said, who would like to take me because I want to give away some positions. So I ended up being a sponsor for Peter Rogers, which I think is ironic. But, you know, if you think about yourself now and where we are in on passive, how do you feel? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel certain? Do you feel sure that this is for real? Are you panicked because you don't have enough founders? Or are you just relaxed? One thing I know for me, I'm very relaxed. And I live in a place of a village where anything's possible. And if you stay in that village, everything is always possible. So when I think about on passive and I think about what Ash is doing, even though he's never said that, this marketing, Marty has explained it, all these people that come in today on this mass marketing are going to be thrown into the entire on-passive people, founders. So I really think it's his way of saying in a quiet way why he's going to close founders, because we're going to have more founders than we had before that we haven't even done ourselves. So if you're thinking of I gotta have, you have what you have. And what you have is good enough. He said we only need one to succeed. So I'm not worried about that stuff. But you know, I'm telling Mike, I'm telling you this. The reason I think you're sitting back and watching is because you deserve to lay back and watch. You and Marty and Peter and Red and all the people who have been here for a long time as leaders have really worked hard. If I think about how many people are founders in Unpassive, that's an uncanny, unimagined amount of people that came in as a result of your efforts and all our efforts. But that's an amazing amount of people that are staying in business that hasn't launched yet. That's a miracle. That's an absolute miracle that many people have stayed here, because the retentiveness of network marketing is so dismal. It's amazing that we can stick and stay as long as we have. So I'm a proud member of OnPassive. You know, I came in here like everybody else, sick and tired of being sick and tired of the same thing. And this was a ray of sunshine, and it's a ray of hope. And I still believe that it is a place where we will live. We are uplifting for everybody, because there's nobody left behind in OnPassive. What we want to do is invite people and just tell people about this. And if they come in, great. And if they don't, God bless them anyway, because they'll leave real of what happened in life. So the important thing to me is being kind to people, being good to people, being patient with people, and listening to people. Marty talked about it like this is a people business, and it's more. And Mike always talks about the brass knuckles of this and brass tacks of that. It is still a business, and no bless does not work if the business does not work. So we really need to remember that this is a business that has to be taken care of, but also as a business. OnPassive will take time. It won't happen overnight. I don't think it'll happen in 6 months, but some things will happen. And little by little, it's like that story of the starfish, you know, and the guy who throws 1,000 starfish around on the sand, and he throws one in, and his friend says, "What good is that? What difference does it make?" And he said, "Well, it makes a difference to that one." And what we do is we throw the starfish back into the ocean one at a time, and we help people one at a time. And we love people one at a time. But I say to myself, I'm a loner who hates being alone, because most of my life I lived alone. And though I see you guys that I don't reach out enough, I think I need to do more. But that's okay, because I know you care for me, and I know that everyone here cares for everyone. And if there's ever a time where you ever need me, I'm always there. And I just show up, because that's what it means in life to be valuable, to show up in the lives of people and help out as best as we can. But it's always
Absolutely.
one starfish at a time. Thanks very much, Julie.
Bruce, thank you so much. Bruce, every single time we have the shows, you always spoke your word of wisdoms to all of us. We appreciate you always being here with us, Bruce. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Thank you. All right. I acknowledge the fact that William DeLone has his hand raised, but William will get back with you in a few shortly. All right. What I am doing right now, Scott, I'm really excited because you know what? My wish came true. And as you know, after the interview with Mike Ellis a while back, I said, gosh, I wish I could have Marty, Mike, and Dan together in the same room, picking their brain and ask them about what is the conversation that they always have when three of them together. And I just want to let you know, Dan Street is in the house. Dan, welcome to the Julie and Milo show. I'm so glad that you are here. And I do have a question for you, Mike. I brought you on. Dan, if you are on, could you please turn your mic and say hello, just so that I know you're
hello, I'm here. I'm sorry. I wasn't here earlier. I had a few things to do, and I had a little dinner, and then Marty called me, and here I am. So.
Oh, wow. Thanks so much, Marty. You made my wish came true, right? So I asked a question to Marty and Mike before you, Dan. I said, you know, the culture of OnPassive Nation, that you three have put it out there together. And from that culture, all of us kind of grow into it, and it become the culture of OnPassive. So I like to hear from you. How did it all start? And, you know, tell us a little bit about OnPassive Nation.
Wow. OnPassive Nation. Well, it was, Marty, Mike, and I talk about this all the time, and how the timing was right. The timing was right for OnPassive. The timing was right for OnPassive Nation. We worked together with several different companies, a lot of different companies, and we had the right, what we thought was the right formula for building a big team. And you've heard Marty and Mike talk about that a lot, and me a little bit, but we thought we had it. But the problem was, as we've spoke before, we just couldn't, a company wouldn't last long enough for us to be able to keep it going. They would fold. And so our team, so we'd take those same people and we'd move them on to the next one. And we really didn't like what was happening. We didn't like the environment. We didn't like the culture of what was going on with all of this, with all these other companies, and most of them were, as you know, they were probably MLM or network marketing companies. So we just developed a team, and we all found our lane. And mine was more or less writing some of the stuff up and doing some of the finance for a lot of the ads that we were doing, and just making it work. We did whatever it took to make it work. And I think that's my point. We did whatever it took, and we communicated. Communication is the biggest key to all of this. You've got to talk to each other. You've got to work things out. You've got to say, okay, this didn't work, so let's try this. And of course, Marty's the marketing genius, and he kind of kept us on a path of, hey, this is what we should do to market. And Mike did an amazing job with all the videos, as you all know. And I was there for a lot of things. So writing the scripts and doing all the other stuff. So it was just a team that it continues to work. We're great friends. We're good business partners, and the timing was right for OnPassive. And OnPassive is the company that didn't leave us. Okay, OnPassive is here. It's for real. It's a real company with real people, real products, unbelievable culture, unbelievable value, and we are so excited about the future as far as marketing the products and everything else. But it's just it was great timing with a good team and good friends, and God bless it. Give God the glory for all of this, because if he wasn't there, we wouldn't be here. That's my story. So does that help?
Awesome. That is great, Dan. That's wonderful. I was going to ask, I don't know if is Marty still here? Marty?
Yes, he is.
Marty, I was going to ask you, I want to know, how was it like? I'm sure when you heard it, you must have had some excitement because of what you found. How was it like going back and sharing this with Mike and Dan? And I think you said they signed up the same day. So you must have been really convincing, or they loved what they heard?
I don't know how convincing I was, but they knew that I wouldn't shut up about it. and for $97, they're going to do it just so I'd be quiet. But no, we found a lot of businesses, right? And it would be one or the other. Hey, look at this. We'd check it out. Nah, I don't know. But I was pretty excited over it. I think that had a lot to do with it. I looked at it and went, wait a minute. Now, we did say, look, if it's only 10% of what we think it is, that's 100% better than anything we've ever done, right? If it'll last more than 3 months, that'd be nice. But here we are over 3 years later, yeah. But I don't remember what I said. It was more like probably not English.
No, you basically said the same thing you said for probably 10, 15 other companies before that.
Yeah.
But this time it stuck, huh?
Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
right. Oh, by the way, Dan was also the banker. Okay.
Yeah.
So without Dan, we wouldn't have been able to do any of it. So it was a big deal. But he wrote everything, because if I wrote it, you wouldn't even know what I was saying. So he was very good at rewriting, doing all the auto. We had 80 autoresponders. It ran 80 times 190, almost a half a year at one point. So, but it was very slow, very little, just little drip here, little drip there, little drip here. And we set up OnPassive Nation to be an autoresponder, if you know what I mean. But it was an autoresponder where we could get to know people. So we had people on Passive Nation that were all different levels. One is they just got there. The other one was they've been there a while. The other one was they're a founder. Because when we first started, people would come in and we had a video at the top, and we would say to them in the email, go here, and there'll be a video at the top, watch it. And the video said, no joke, the reason you're here is because of blank, 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 blank. Because people forget. Autoresponders are mainly to remind people why they are listening or watching. Because people say, well, I wouldn't forget. Yeah, you would. You do something on Saturday, you get off, you go Sunday morning, get up, you tripped over the dog, newspaper guy hit you in the head with a newspaper. You cannot remember what you did last night, but you're thinking something great. It was great. I really want to know about, but I can't remember. So you go back in and remind them the next day or a couple of days later. And what I wanted to do, we all did, get them in there and let's actually get to know them. And we set up goals. We want 5,000 people. We want 10,000. We want 20,000. And the beauty of it is, and this is the truth, any goal we set up, we beat. I believe. No, I know we did. So, but it's an effort. It's an effort, you know, so.
That's awesome, Marty. And to think that with OwnPassive, we all, and Dan probably even more than Marty, you don't have to pay for those autoresponders. With OwnPassive, they're all there. I'd like to ask Mike a question. Mike, I know you were the guy that was the driving force behind the videos and stuff, and I always speak on the show about being consistent, and that's one thing you did. Now, when you first come in and you did your videos, what kind of traffic did you get to them?
I got two people. I got Dan and Marty. That was my audience. I didn't get a lot of people doing videos. In fact, the first couple of videos, I mean, they were very, very kind and said, yeah, it's okay. They sucked. And you and Julie know you have to put the time in. You have to do this for a year to get as good as you two have gotten. It takes time. And when I started doing videos, I didn't want to do them, but nobody else would. Dan wouldn't do them. Marty wouldn't do them. Now both of them are very good with videos today, but back then they thought, "No, you're crazy. We don't even need that." But it's something that had been on my mind for probably 6 months. I had studied it. I had listened to people. I had heard people talk about videos and how powerful they could be. And finally, I just said, well, I guess I got to do them. And from there, it just, you know, that's 4.5 years ago. You know, they've gotten a little better, but if you talk to Marty and Dan, they haven't got that much better. It's still an ugly guy doing a video.
But you've been consistent, and that number grows every day almost, doesn't it, for you?
I don't worry about the videos anymore. All I think about is content. What has value, as Ash talks about, what has value. Right. And if I can't bring value to the table, I don't do the video. I don't do a video just to do a video. Right. Number one, my heart's not in it. I can't do it. If I do a video, I'm speaking from the heart. It's stuff I believe, and it's stuff I think people need to hear in order to be successful online. You know, when you talk to Marty about what he talked to Dan and I about as he brought OwnPassive to Dan and I had heard Ash Mufareh talk probably 3, maybe 4 months before we joined. I turned Ash off after 7 minutes. And you know the crazy professor, if you've never heard him before, you're going, this guy's nuts. But then when we started getting into what he was really saying, and I started to understand what Ash was talking about, I said, no, he's not nuts. I am. We should have seen this 6 months ago and been in it and just gone full bore. But it took time for us to really understand what Ash was all about, what he was saying. But again, I turned him off 3 months before Marty came to us. And when Marty came to us, I don't have a clue what Marty said. I mean, Marty, he comes, this is what we're doing. Okay, how much? Okay, we're in. And that was in the course of about an hour. And then from there, we had a couple of meetings with several people as we started the process of building on passive. And it was really kind of funny. We would get on with a group of individuals and we'd get off and Dan and Marty and I, we were looking at each other and we're going, well, we know more than they do. Well, I mean, what's that all about? Because we were trying to learn, and there really wasn't anybody out there to teach us except Ash Mufareh. And that's when we started to, Ash started to mentor us, even though he didn't know it. And we started to understand the language of Ash Mufareh, reading between the lines. And from there, it just grew and grew and grew. Now Marty, I'm sure Marty completes Ash's sentences now. Ash will start it, Marty will finish it. But that's all about, it's all about spending time, building that relationship. That none of this happens overnight. None of it happens overnight. As Julie and Milo can tell you, you have to work at it. Now with OnPassive, if you're a founding member, again, it's 100% automated, but you don't want to stop there. You want to get to know the people that are here. I think one of the biggest joys that we have, Marty, Dan, and I have, is when we find somebody that thinks they have no value and they're dead, they can't contribute anything. And we see what they have, they don't. And being able to bring that out, bring it to the forefront and have them contribute, and then people just absolutely love them. And everybody here has that you've got that flame inside to succeed, but you've been beat down so long, at least a lot of founders have, you've been beat down so long that you're afraid to raise your head. And we love to get people to raise their head, get it above the crowd, and use their voice, because it's very, very powerful. I think that's the biggest joy, at least that I have. I think Marty and Dan would probably agree with that.
Thank you, Mike, so much for being here and share what you just shared. I wanted to go back to Mike, to Dan and Marty and Mike really quick. Wanted to acknowledge that William and Jerry have your hand raised. Give us a few more time, probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes, because I'm really excited to have these guys here with us tonight. I wanted to continue our conversation with the fact that Dan, Marty, and Mike, you three are actually known each other 10 years ago. And as you are listening to this program right now, you know that Marty is the guy behind the scene doing all the marketing on internet everywhere, and also Dan adding to the content of the words, all the content. And then Mike is a person who literally the face of the videos, delivering the simplest and the easy to understand content of what they're putting together. And then Dan is the banker behind OnPassive Nation or OnPassive, or I would say the trio, right, of OnPassive Nation. No one, just so you know, no one can get access to Dan until Marty and Mike said, here it is. Otherwise, no one can access to Dan. So if you're going to try to reach out to Dan, there's no way to Dan, only through Marty and Mike. Just a little kind of reminder, everyone. Even though he is the banker behind these guys. So you three have known each other. I should say the trio have known each other for over 10 years, and you have been working together for 10 years, but you have never met each other in person. Wow, that's amazing. It has to be the trust, the passion of what you're doing, and also the connections. I really like to hear what sort of conversations you have behind the scene when you are actually get together.
Hey, Julie, Dan and I have known each other for a long time. We've worked together for probably 30 years.
Wow.
So I've known Dan since, we were pretty young. And Marty and I got together before Dan came into the mix, but I'll let Dan and Marty talk about that.
Dan, Marty, do you want to start? please.
No, I'll just, yeah, Mike and I have known each other. We're both in Colorado. We've known each other for, geez, as long as I can remember. Went to high school together, and we've just known each other for a long time. Have a lot of history, and we've been in a lot of businesses together. And even before Mike met Marty, and the same type thing, you know, the same type of multi-level internet marketing type business. But at the same time, once Mike met Marty, then Mike introduced me to Marty, and then we all started working together. It flowed, and it was awesome. Now, I would like nothing more, like a lot of you, to go to Marty's living room and sit down and give him a big hug and talk to him. You know, I'd love to meet Marty in person, but that'll happen. That'll happen soon enough. And you know, the only other thing I'd add is just to piggyback on what Mike was saying, is that you've got all of these people. You've got a lot of people that, and I've said this so many times before, you've got a lot of people that start out in this business and they're just babies, and they start working and getting to know people and developing skills, developing communication skills, whether that be with writing or Zooms or participating in a webinar. And then you think about all of us here, all the people we know all over the world, and all the relationships we have all over the world. And when things lighten up and we're able to travel the way we want to travel, and we're able to do it without any hindrances financially or anything like that, think about that. You know people in every country in the world, and you can go visit them. I mean, we couldn't say that a year ago or 2 years ago. And we got not just know somebody, you've got a pretty deep relationship with a lot of people around the world. And that's what On Passive is giving us. And that's exciting to me. And you know, that's just a lot of fun to think about.
Absolutely, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for mentioning it. Marty, would you like to say to the relationship between you?
Well, I mean, it wasn't all peaches and cream, I can tell you that. We had some pretty crazy stuff happen. I mean, we've done everything. I mean, from a app game to cryptocurrency, every business there was in that. We marketed every way you could imagine. In fact, how I met Mike, if I remember right, I was in a meeting with somebody about something, and I can't remember. I think I was arguing with the guy. Well, whatever it was. Yeah, I was arguing with the guy, or I didn't agree with him. Mike was there. I didn't know. And afterwards, or even during, he got a hold of me, and we started talking. And that was the time I think I was doing Twitter, and I had 50 accounts, almost 500,000 followers. I lost them all though, because I got a little too greedy. But we did apps, we did, and it wasn't always easy. I mean, we do something and really cranking it up. I mean, bringing in thousands a day, and we get that feeling, and we're talking to each other in the morning going, something doesn't feel right, and we start getting out. And that happened to us more than once. And we get out in time where we didn't lose. We did okay. One of them we did very well. The other one we lost, but in general we did okay. But I think God watched out for all of us, always, because there was times you don't know. But no, we had crazy stuff happen. I mean, you try to do stuff and you're cranking away, and because we didn't have a lot of money. I mean, there's only so much money I could get from Dan, right? So you learn how to market like a hybrid marketing. Like you find out, how can I get what I want with nothing or very close to nothing? And we found ways to do it. We would set up a goofy ad. Let's put it this way. At one point, we had groups, Facebook groups for every NBA basketball team, every NFL football team, every cricket team around the world, every hockey team. I believe it was 200 or 300 groups that we ran. And then, of course, I found a way that I could communicate with 500 of them at a time. Of course, Facebook found out and they said I was naughty. So they kicked me out of Facebook. But we did stuff like that. In fact, being broke helped us learn things that we might not have learned, really. And we always tested and experimented. And, you know, a guy was running a YouTube, not a YouTube, a video platform. And he said, I'd like to get a lot of views. And I went, well, I think I can get you views. And went on and tweeted all his stuff and set it to different places. And he got 250,000 views in a couple of days. But it was all from testing it, just try, because we didn't have money. I mean, Dan had money, but we can't he's not going to sell his house. But no, I mean, we learned from being broke, we learned a lot, I think. So, and we had good times. I mean, one time we had 1 million hits on an ad. Come on, 950,000. It was shared 20,000 times. I mean, that's fun. It's absolutely fun. I still have all those groups, I think. But no, it's just, I believe in leveraging. We in fact, the name of our group was Leverage Kings when we started. And we leveraged everything. We didn't do anything unless we could do something else with the same effort. So anyway, yeah, it was a lot of fun. We learned a lot. And then coming here, to me, on passive is a piece of cake. And when it launches, whatever we did so far, to me, is a joke. We will blow that up 100 times, only because what Ash did. I told everybody here many, many times, your first 6 months, whatever money you get extra, buy traffic. You do that for 6 or 7 months and your grandkids will never work again. Really, I believe that. That's all.
Wow, that's brilliant on everything that you are doing. And obviously, I do know that on what I'm seeing, I truly appreciate the wisdom that you guys are sharing out there to entire On Passive, nation and On Passive itself. The second part of my questions, before I even say that, I'm going to have Milo ask more questions in terms of the marketing itself. But before we go that part, the second part of my question was, what sort of conversation do you have? Is it all about the marketing? Are you talking about the relationships of people together? What sort of conversations you do have daily or weekly?
I'll start it off, Julie. Marty, Dan, and I, we've known each other a long time. And when we talk, probably 50% of the time we talk about On Passive. The other 50%, we talk about other things. We talk about our faith. We talk about politics. We talk about everything that is pertinent to life, like all of you do. And you're gonna, when you start working with individuals, and all of a sudden it changes into life conversations, you've hit a benchmark. It's no longer a business partner; it's a friend and family. And I think that's developed between Dan and Marty and I. And it's not always fun because we don't always agree. And if you know Marty, he can be pretty bullheaded. I can be pretty bullheaded. And Dan can be very, very blunt. I mean, he puts you down in a heartbeat. But those are good things. So those are part of building a relationship and years of being together. And Marty and I, we've never seen each other in person in 10 years, but it doesn't really matter. Because of the modern technology, it's like every day we're face to face. It doesn't matter if I'm at his house or he's at mine or Dan or it's a pretty cool situation that we're in right now, that you can build that in 10 years and never meet the individual. Now that's not the case with Dan. I see Dan too much, but Marty, haven't seen him yet.
Wow. Dan, Marty, what sort of conversations do you have daily and weekly?
I think
A lot of
I
these
think,
conversations we
yeah.
can't get into on this
Yeah,
group, Julie.
no, I mean,
We would
a
blow it
lot of-
up.
I'll call Marty, I'll call Mike. Mike and I will talk about all kinds of things, and it doesn't necessarily have to have anything to do with on passive. On passive always comes into the conversation, but with Marty, I'll call Marty just to say, hey, how's the family? How's Shorty doing? How's Dawn doing? What's going on? And we have conversations that relate to developing a personal relationship that we've developed over the years, and a friendship, as opposed to just business. And that's important. If you're going to you have to have a good friendship and a good relationship and communications with one another if you're going to have a good business relationship with each other. And that just, it automatically flows. And like I said earlier, I said the timing was right. When we got in March of 2019, and we had time. We had time to build this. We had time to use the marketing that we'd done before with On Passive, and On Passive just kept getting better and better, and the value kept getting better, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. There was one time when we first started with On Passive, and we said, wouldn't it be awesome if we could get, at the end of all this, when they quit the founder's position, if we could have maybe 25 to 50 positions? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, all of us, it went well beyond that, just because of the time and the value increasing. And Ash changed his direction and kept going and going and going with this thing far beyond what he originally had planned as a marketing company. So timing was good, and our conversations, they're a mixture of personal and business.
Wow. Marty?
I have no idea who either one of these guys are. No, I'm just kidding. No, we talk about everything, just like they said. It's different things. If we can ever get together at one time, sometimes that's a little difficult, because I'm usually doing something. But if I see a light on, I'll hit them, or if I need to tell them something, or I find out something or whatever. But yeah, we every day or so we talk, about everything. I like hawks. My brother owns hawks. We talk about wildlife. He's got turkeys running around his yard. And I'm not talking about Chris Johnson, actual turkeys, stuff like that. Just everyday stuff, joking. I have a few jokes once in a while, but no, I mean, yeah, just fun stuff. Oh, there is Chris Johnson. Chris, I didn't know you were here. You're not a turkey, man. Well, you're something, but you're not a turkey.
Hey, that's so neat. Marty, I got a couple of questions I want to ask you. I heard you guys talking, well, Marty or Mike or Dan, whoever wants to answer it, but you guys were talking about autoresponders. You were heavy, it sounded like, into autoresponders. Were you using like a drip campaign with those? No.
Yeah, I mean, we were using Aweber, and we'd set up a list, and we had our list, and we'd market to that list, and we would set up those autoresponders, and those autoresponders would consist of welcome. The first one would basically welcome the people and thank them for opting in, and then at the end of that, we'd tell them we developed the story. We'd tell them what to expect in the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and we just kept going and going and going, and just kept hitting them. And people were on a regular basis. So we could monitor how many people were responding to each one of our autoresponders, and it just worked very well. And sure, we had to tweak it here and there and change stuff, and we'd always talk. That's one of the things. If you ask what we talk about the theme of the story we want to tell through those autoresponders, and it just worked really well. And they weren't long. People aren't going to read something that's a book. They wanted something real short, sweet. And what I would do is I would write it up, and then Mike would have these videos, these shorter videos, or even longer videos. And I would put a link. I said, take a look at what Mike Ellis is saying about this, and boom, throw Mike's video in there, and end it with something to a call to action of some kind.
Wow, that's neat. So you had an actual plan that come down, and I think That's an awesome way to market, because I think most people say, it takes 7 times for a person to read something before they'll actually take action, the majority of them, so that is cool. So if you did that, did you ever come up with a way to figure out how to send those messages out as text messages? You did? Mike, I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, it's SMS marketing. Yeah, you can send those out on a text message. You can send it out to your list, the list that you have that you got the phone number from with a smartphone, and you can actually do SMS marketing. Now, OnPassive is going to have that.
Right.
We're going to be able to market to people that have a smartphone. And everything we're talking about today, everybody here is going to be able to do what Marty, Dan, and I have done because of the products of OnPassive, because of the tools of OnPassive. Everything that we're talking about was very difficult for us to learn and do. But as soon as OnPassive comes on board, everybody here will be able to do that type of marketing, either SMS to smartphones or to an email address. There'll be many different venues that you can actually get the word out there and drive people to a particular product or to become independent resellers. And a lot of this stuff you can do without them ever knowing who you are. So you can be anonymous, but when you're talking about products, I think OnPassive is going to put stuff together for us. The content that OnPassive is going to put together for us, it's going to be so good that you can actually put this together on the automated marketing platform that we'll have and actually augment what OnPassive is doing for your business, for your organization. And it does a couple of things. Number one, it helps you out personally because your business is going to go quicker. But when you do that, because of the way Ash has structured the business, all of this helps everybody on your team, because each individual that comes into your team, it services 15 people. So you bring in one person and you've got people above you and below you that are benefiting from your efforts. And when Marty talked about driving more traffic, when you start making a little money with OnPassive, that's such a big deal. It's an easy way to augment your business and really help everybody in OnPassive, not just yourself, but the people below you and above you. There are going to be so many of those little things that we can do, very, very simple things to do. As Milo talked about the autoresponder, autoresponders are very, very simple. The art of autoresponders is a little more difficult, but I think OnPassive will help everybody with that. They'll probably have their own autoresponders that we can use. And it really is the art that's the difficult part. That's what takes so much time to learn, what people want to hear, what they need to hear, and what will get a response from them. That's the hard part. But OnPassive, when we talk about all these things, don't think you're out there and it's never going to affect you, because a lot of these things you're going to be able to use as a founding member because of what Ash Mufareh has done. So any little bits that you can pick up, just keep them in the back of your mind, because eventually I think you're going to be able to use them with your business, using the content of OnPassive to actually generate more business for your organization, bringing people in. And it really is a big deal when we get 1.2 million people doing that. All of a sudden, yeah, I can't even think about that. It's huge. It's huge.
Mike,
okay, go ahead. I wanted to
go ahead, Marty.
We had when we did ads, when we were doing the ads on Facebook, there's a high percent, not high, that's pretty high. 50-60% of the people do not like clicking on a link and putting their name and email in, okay? Which they're gonna do it. Before we're done, they're doing it. Now, because I knew they didn't like that, we purchased an app. It was called ManyChat. And what that was is I hooked it up to every ad we had. If they left a comment, it would send them a message on their instant message, which is just same as doing texting, right? Sure. 96% open rate. So I would set up the ad. I'd get a hold of Mike and Dan. I said, hey, go to this ad and write info, please. They'd go say info, please. I'd ask them, did you get the autoresponder? Not the regular autoresponder, the one I hooked up on the app. Yep, I got it. What did it say? Do this, 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 and this. Okay, beautiful. So we had texting and regular autoresponder running at the same time. And what I tell people is the system we set would be, if you look down at the Los Angeles freeway at 1,000 feet, to you, it would be a mess. But to us, it was freaking artwork. You know what I mean? We knew where everybody was going. Even if a guy or a woman took the off ramp and said, I'm not putting my name in, the off ramp leads where I want them to go. I just didn't tell them that, right? You just, and when they get there, they think they made the decision. Now, once they get to the off ramp and they click on something, now they're in the regular autoresponder. So the app would take them one direction to give them that. I don't know why they had to do it, but it was a high percentage and they would do it. And all I had to do, well, not all, it took a while, is come up with every scenario that somebody might ask. Info, please. Yo, what's up? I would like more info. Hey, I want to know more. I mean, all that crazy stuff. There's thousands of these little words. Now, artificial intelligence does that automatically. It's called machine learning. I had to do it manually because I don't have artificial intelligence. But when it was done, it was amazing. I mean, people would come in. We got as many people going to the comments because most people lose people on the comment because you're not going to go there at 3 o'clock in the morning and answer them. But the way we had it set up was if somebody came in at 3 o'clock in the morning in France and put a comment in, he's getting an autoresponder to his instant message. And if he answers that, which he's going to because he asked for it, now he's going to get into the regular autoresponder I wanted him to get in to begin with. But anyway, that's how it worked. It was a lot of fun. That's the part I enjoyed, actually.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing of this is all we're talking about right now is going to be available to us through OwnPassive. And when you think about even what you were talking about there, you have chat bots now that at 3 o'clock in the morning, you say, hey, what about this? And all of a sudden it's like you talking to them and you say, hey, glad to see you here. How can I help you? You know, what do you want to know? And they type in a little phrase and it goes, boom, it puts it in there. They can take them through that whole process and answer any question because of machine learning and artificial intelligence. Once someone asks that question once and you answer it, it's got an answer there for those people. Beautiful thing, you know. Man, this is great. I love the way that Mike brought this about and brought it back right where, you know, I was hoping that it would come, you know, that with OwnPassive, this is going to just do all of that for us. Back to you, Julie.
Absolutely, Milo. Thank you so much. It's so brilliant on what three of you are doing. And I know you are doing it because you're loving what you're doing and you're committing to what you are doing. And so we all appreciate you so much. And especially for Julie and Milo, we appreciate you all three coming into the show tonight. You know, we're looking forward to Friday. And many of us kind of know what is going on Friday, but there are still lots of people out there, especially the people who are on YouTube right now that's joining us today. And first of all, thank you so much for you tuning in to the YouTube that you are watching. We invite you to click the subscribe button and also click the bell to get notification because we have something very, very special coming on to the YouTube that you're watching on Friday. So I like to see if Marty could tell us a little bit what is going on Friday, Marty, if you don't mind.
Hey, Marty, before you do that, let me say one thing, just very, very quickly. Marty, Dan, and I would not be doing any of this if we weren't absolutely, positively sure that everybody that's here is going to be successful. That's the one thing OwnPassive brought to the table that we had never seen or heard before. We know that everybody here is going to make money. Absolutely 100%, 100%. We never give a time frame. I can't give you how much I think you're going to make because I'd get fired. But we know everybody here is going to be successful. And there are people in OwnPassive that need that reassurance over and over and over again. And that's okay. That's a good thing. But it's coming, and yeah, it's going to be fun for everybody. Marty, go ahead.
I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's a continuation of what happened on the 30th. So if you had problems wrapping your head around that, get ready for another ride. This roller coaster is going back up to the top again. So it's very neat stuff. I believe there'll be videotaping from many, many locations to Dubai, back to us, and from us back to 20 YouTube channels. So we should hit hundreds of thousands of people on Friday, I hope. But like I said, when I get the detail, I don't know the actual details because even though I talk to Ash once in a while, I never ask him. Not once. I don't ask him lunch. I don't ask him. I just don't. I never have. The little bit I know about marketing and technology, which is a pimple on an elephant compared to on passive, I just know asking that is just almost ignorant to ask some of those questions because there's so many moving parts. Even if do I think he has dates written down? Yeah, of course he does. But a phone call or 17 phone calls or 100 phone calls can change everything in a second, 1 second. And I know one thing, it won't open up to the world until it's perfect. And that's what we need to know. That's all we need to know, because when that happens, if people love it, and this campaign that you're seeing now, remember, branding and campaigning done right will set us free. There's no doubt about it. You get the viral effect, you get 1 million people joining a day. That means just over 24 hours, there's as many people as there is now. And you're going to ask me if you get 3? Don't ask me that. Okay. Yeah, I believe you're going to do 3. But it's going to explode. And if they do the right thing now, it'll be a bigger explosion. People are looking for this. I'm telling you right now, they're looking for value. They're looking for an honest company. And when they see Oblast and they see all the stuff that Ash has done and what this company has done, what the people have done, everybody here had an impact on Unpass because we're all like-minded people. That's all.
Absolutely, Marty. Thank you so much for bringing on. I just wanted to remind everyone, if you have been seeing the things that happen in Unpassive, there are no other company, no universe are doing the things that Unpassive is doing. We are in the present everywhere around Dubai, the main street to Dubai, to Dubai, and then the main street to the Burj Khalifa building that Unpassive is owning 2 of those floors, and every single screen throughout Dubai Mall, the largest malls in Dubai, at the ice skating ring, at the aquarium, at the canal, and then every single screen out there. Trust me, if you literally looking at Dubai and pull up just hashtag Dubai, you're probably going to see many screens that showing Unpassive on it, unpassive.com in it. And if you are watching this right now, all you got to do is either click the button, the subscribe button, or write down the top.live, and then also plug it in on Friday. You will witness one of the phenomenon of marketing in the world. Trust me, I have never seen, and any of these guys and gals here will testify the fact that they have never seen this type of marketing campaign in the history of the entire world. So if you believe it or not, it's really up to you. The ball is in your court now. All you have to do is take the action, either get back with the person who shared this with you or plug it in on Friday. But if you are plugging in on Friday, it might be too late, right? You only have few days, few weeks, maybe, to participate in the early birds of Unpassive. Mike, Marty, Dan, it's such an honor for all of us to have you here. It's my wish came true, and thank you, Marty, for doing that. I like to leave about the next 20 minutes. For anyone here in the Zoom would like to ask questions with Dan, Mike, and Marty. And then probably 5 minutes after that, Milo would just go over through something really quick, and then I will close it down. So I noticed we have William DeLome has his hand raised earlier. So William, and then Jerry, if you're in the house, raise your hands up so that we know that you're in. But William, would you please go ahead, and would you like to go ahead and ask these gentlemen questions?
Hello.
Hi, William.
Hello. I'm here. Marty, I can remember the first time that I was with you on a live or a webinar, and Mike Horn, and you were talking about, or later on, I should say, you were talking about diamonds in the rough. I think that we all are diamonds in the rough when you're in non-passive, because of all the options, the creativity, the learning, the knowledge, everything that's included. And I can say, Milo, when you say consistency pays off. Well, I don't know about that. When you're in a wheelchair, and the first day I was on the webinar, I don't think that's very consistent. And I'm trying to be more available to people in this company. And I know I have a lot of skills I can add. So, Marty, I was very grateful to talk with you that first day. And I hope you were too, because you were talking about diamonds in the rough. And I was thinking, I'm going to be out of this wheelchair and dancing very shortly.
Looking forward to it, William.
You're 24 karat, buddy.
Yeah, and I don't think Marty dances, William.
I certainly like to dance.
I know.
You dance, I'll dance, William. It's not going to be a pretty sight, but
I know that'll be wonderful, Marty. From the first time I spoke with you, I don't think, and I seen you crying at the webinar with on the 30th.
no, thank you for pointing that out, William.
You look just like me.
No, I'm just kidding. It's okay.
All right. Thank you, William. Thank you, William. Okay, next up we have Mr. Momodu. Come on down, brother.
Yeah, Mr. Milo, good evening, good afternoon, good everything. Miss Julie, thank you very much. I don't have a question. I just want to use this opportunity to thank Mr. Marty, Mr. Mike, and Mr. Dan. You know, since I became a founder of this opportunity, I've been following them, and whatever webinar I attended, all the time they are there. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank them from the bottom of my heart for what they have been doing for us. And I pray that God will reward them abundantly. And thank you, Mr. Milo and Miss Julie, for taking up on us. Thank you very much. I don't have much to say, you know.
Thank you so much, Momodu. We appreciate you. Every time we have a show, you show up. We appreciate you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
Thank you,
God
Momodu.
bless you all.
God bless you. Be well.
Okay.
All right, Eric Kessler. Eric, if you would please unmute your mic.
Thank you, Julie and Milo. I just wanted to give a shout out to Dan, Mike, and Marty because of On Passive Nation. When I first joined, it's been about 2.5 years now. Through Arthur, he introduced me to On Passive Nation, and I got right in it. And I was so glad I did because between the three of them, it's helped me stay connected on Passive more than anything else. And I appreciate the time that they've given, the kind of men that they are. When I grow up, I want to be just like them. And so I just wanted to give a shout out. That's about all I have to say too, and also shout out to all the other people that have webinars. I'm not going to start naming names because I'll surely miss somebody. But I appreciate these Wednesday night shows a lot too because it also helps me stay connected. And through all your guys' love for On Passive, I've learned to love On Passive even more every day. So thank you all, and God bless.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you coming every night because every Wednesday night, because like we say, if we don't have anyone here, we don't have a show. So next up we got, oh boy, Checky. Does that sound good? Checky? Come on down, brother. Talk to us.
Cheche.
Cheche.
Yes, yes. Hello, everybody. No, just I don't have any question, but just I was listening to all of you. Mike Kelly he said when he started, nobody watched his video. I was one of the first to watch you. I remember now you changed your background, but you used when you start making videos, you did in your, I think it was in the living room, right? So, you know, I follow you for the, I think from the very beginning. I am a founder from, I started in 29, I think it was February, something like that. And I watch all of your video, Mike, believe me. Thanks to Lynn Nakamoto, she always invites me to come to the webinar. Marty DiGarmo, when I saw him talking with people every day, I say, oh, this guy, he doesn't need to make video. Everybody love you, Marty. I saw that on the video. Then I see Lynn and Milo in the show, in your show. You always have nice answer, nice words for everybody who is watching it. I know there is many of you that are cool on the screen. And Chris Johnson. When I see Chris Johnson first time, I said to myself, this is a party guy, man. I believe me. When I saw you, and then I was right, you know. So just I want to share with you this little message, love and peace for all of you. God bless you, and then I love you, all of you. I love all of you guys. Believe me. Lo quiero mucho.
Thank you, Cheche.
Thank you. Julie, sorry. Sorry, Julie, I didn't say your name, but when I say Milo, I knew I was talking about you two guys. Sorry.
All right. Thanks so much, Cheche. I'm glad that you are here with us.
Thank you.
You always have that smile that you're excited being here. So we'll appreciate you being here with us as well. All right. Thank you. Okay, so we have David Schweitzer. It's our last speaker for tonight. We're gonna have David say a few words, and then we're gonna go back to the trio. So David, if you would please unmute your mic and say a few words to us.
Yeah, hey, I just want to say that I remember Mike and Dan and Marty building up on Passive because I used to go to some of their webinars when they first started out. I don't know if they remember me, but I watched a lot of their videos and stuff when they first started out, and I really enjoyed listening to them. And so anyhow, I like to say this to Marty, and I get a kick out of Marty because I watch Marty, and Marty's always shaking his head like this all the time and going around like this and shaking his head back and forth. And I'm trying to think who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, that's what Stevie Wonder does when he sings, you know. He's always shaking his head and moving up and down, and, you know, good deal, Marty. I mean, I bet you like to have his money he has, but, you know, but I'm saying that's what you remind me of. But I get a kick out of that because I know you're thinking when you're doing that. You're thinking all the time. So I guess that's a good thing. But anyhow, I'm really happy to be with where I'm at right now. I'm really happy to have all you guys for friends and everything. And so I'm proud to be where I'm at right now. So, you know, gives me something to do. Actually, it's better than sitting around watching TV all the time. I could be right here with my family, enjoying my family and learning on the progress, you know. So thank you for letting me speak.
All right. Thank you, David Schweitzer. Thank you for coming out. You're great. Okay, I did see another hand up, Julie. There was one up earlier, Jerry Thomas. Jerry, did you want to say something? Jerry Thomas.
I was going to say something, but it was a different subject, so I took my hand back down. But I do want to say that we owe a tremendous debt to Mike Ellis. He was one of the first. I came in 2018, but it was a real big thing for me to see Mike Ellis in his living room doing those first videos that he did. He explained it so well. I could never explain it that way. And I forwarded those videos to lots of people and to help them know what On Passive was. And Mike, we love you, and we know that we owe so much to you, and we appreciate you so much. God bless you.
Well, I really appreciate that, Jerry. You're very, very kind. And everybody knows that what I do is a compilation of Marty, Dan, and I. We get together, we talk, and I just do the videos. They do the thinking, and I do the videos. But I really appreciate what you said, Jerry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jerry. And I want to echo what Jerry is talking about too. Not only to Mike Ellis, Dan, Marty, but to all the founders who started from the very beginning. Because if it wasn't for you, and here it's also Milo and everyone who started 2018, if it wasn't for you to take the vision of Mr. Ashmore forward, and also, you know, the message of On Passive from the very beginning, none of us would have been here. None of us would receive this blessings that we are feeling right now. So I wanted to say, on behalf of every founders that came in later, I wanted to say thank you so much for doing what you're doing. And thank you so much. Just because of you, there's many, many more are coming. And that's exactly what I said is On Passive. It's a gift to the world, and it takes all of us to give it out and to share it out to the world. Also, Marty, Dan, and Mike, we appreciate you so much for just being here, for just showing up, not only on here in the Julie and Milo show, but everything that you are doing. We appreciate you very much. Before we're going to wrap up this show really quick, I like to have started with Mike and then Dan and Marty, or whoever wants to start. I'd like to hear your word of wisdom for everyone moving forward from this point on. So
Dan, go ahead and start it off.
Well, I don't know about words of wisdom, but I can just, I'd like everybody to just get excited about Friday, because when you think about all that we've been through all of us here that have been through over the last several years, and all of the challenges that we've had, all the hard work that we've put in, all the people that we've been talking to, and all the relationships that we've made. I mean, we just think about, I'm excited about what Ash was saying the other day about how this coming campaign is going to be, it's going to be a lavish campaign that's going to target the youth. I'm very, very curious to see how that comes about, and all the different locations and how this is going to, this presentation is so exciting because we know this is coming to fruition right now. And one of the other things that he said the other day that really caught me was the fact that he wants to make every single one of these, and Marty just alluded to this earlier, he wants to make every single one of these products perfect before we get them out to the world. And so people, once they see on passive, they won't consider any other option. I mean, it's out there. Those products are so perfect, and the branding of the company and the build up to the launch to the world is so perfect that people are not going to even look at price. They aren't going to consider another option. And then what we do, the three things that he said that really hit me, and I wrote them down, is he said, then once you've built that, you stabilize what you've built. Then you scale what you've built. And then you sustain it. And we're going to be stabilizing, scaling, and sustaining on a regular basis, because we're never going to stop. It's only the beginning. And we're going to continue, Ash is going to continue to invent new products that we're going to be able to stabilize and scale and sustain. And it's just so exciting, because it's just a continual thing for generations. And we will be able to provide for our families for generations to come. So very exciting stuff. And that's my last note of the day, I guess. Take it away, Julie.
Mike, go ahead.
Marty? Yeah.
Yeah, Marty, go ahead. I'll go last.
Hey, thank you, guys. Can I have a word?
Tim, if you would please let Marty go, and let's see if we have the time. We'll call on you.
Okay.
Yeah, same as Dan and Michael probably said the same thing or something close to it. Enjoy what's left for this launch, because you'll remember it for the rest of your life, right? How it really started. And we've started at the top. We can only go higher. I don't know what higher is, because I couldn't believe what we did already. So yeah, it's great things coming. Be there Friday. It's something to brag about. And the same link that you used before for your family is the top live, the top dot live. Yeah, the top dot live. And that will take you to any one of the 19, 20 different YouTube channels. If you are going to come in Zoom, once you got the exact time, which will be posted, I would get there 15, 20 minutes early, because it might lock out again, right, which we did last time. So, but no, I mean, this is fun stuff. It's here. This is what we've been looking for. It's what we've been, some people going on 4 years, some people over 3. This is fantastic. I couldn't be happier. You can't be in a better place. And like I've been saying, Mike said, Dan said, it's all because of people and the movement that was created by everyone, not just one. Mike, Marty, and Dan couldn't do anything if other people didn't keep going, right? I mean, there's people that carry it on to someone else, to someone else, to someone else. 1,200,000, it's a lot of people. But that ain't nothing compared to what we'll be seeing it in the future. So that's all I got.
Mike?
Yeah, I'll just add real quickly, Julie. Obviously, Friday's a big day. Get on it, listen to it, watch it. It's about 2 weeks from the last event, the 30th to Friday, and then start thinking in periods of 2 weeks. Okay, I think Ash Muffar, listening to him last Monday, I think he's going to have stuff coming out about every 2 weeks, and these aren't little things; they're big things. So just get a mindset of every 2 weeks, Ash is going to be bringing out something big. And if I'm wrong, you can beat me up, but I think that's what's going to happen. That's kind of what I heard. And then understand every 2 week period gets us that much closer to the global launch of Unpassive. Now that's going to happen when Ash, like Marty said, gets everything perfect and he does the marketing campaigns the way he wants to do them. So it might be a little bit of flex there. But in my mind, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at every 2 weeks. What is Ash doing? And you can get very, very excited. This Friday is going to be awesome. I think the 1st of May is going to be awesome. I just think it's going to get better and better and better from here out. And I think every 2 weeks, Ash is just going to wow us. I really do think. So for me, that's kind of what I'm doing. If you want to do that a little bit, think about that 2 week period, and then just get ready. We're going to do things the world's never seen. So that's it, Julie.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Marty. And thank you, Dan, our special guest, for coming and talking tonight. We loved everything you said, and it's so true. On Passive is changing the world, one person at a time. It started with Ash Mafaro, and it goes to all of us. We have just a couple minutes left, Tim. If you want to say something, a couple minutes, and then we'll have Julie wrap up. And thanks, everyone, for coming to the show. You guys make the show. All right, Tim, go ahead.
Milo,
Yes, sir.
you're a great man. You're really wonderful. As well as many others on this screen in front of me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you've done. Oh my God. Is it okay if I tear up?
We can't see you, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable where we're headed. And I hope that we have the opportunity to take it all in, because what is happening now is so enormous. I can't help but break down when I think about the future. I'm so happy and so blessed. And I thank you all.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much, Tim Dillon, for coming on. It is emotional, and it's emotional, and the tear of joys that we are shredding every, I mean, like whatever, it's very hard to contain, and it's all come through many of us. I wanted to say thank you so much, our three surprise guests tonight, and also everyone for coming in and join the Julie and Milo show. If you are listening and watching through YouTube right now, please remember to click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed, don't click it, because if you click on it again, it will unsubscribe. But yes, join us on Friday at noon. And the easy website that you could remember to join is thetop.live. I also wanted to remind everyone, on Saturday, the next day, the day after that Friday, in Southern California, we are going to have a live meeting as well, in person. We are welcome everyone, guests, founders around Southern California. Join us as well. Get back with the person who shared this information with you. If you are not in Southern California and you have friends, family, guests that you want to invite to that live event, get back with the person who shared this with you and send them to our event. Terry Thompson shared us away, myself, Leon Holiday, and many other founders here in Southern California who are definitely taking care of your guests and families as well. So we look forward to meeting you there in person. As far as for the people around the world, there will be a link put in your back office, and you will be able to chime in as well. We are going to have a great time sharing on Passive with friends and family and guests as well. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support, the Julie and Milo show. Without you, there won't be Julie and Milo show. And we do hope that you enjoy the show tonight. Once again, please take care of yourself and take care of others. Good night from Orange County, California.
Good night from Nashville.
Good night, Marty.
Good night,
I was just kidding,
everybody.
Marty. I was
Good
just
to see
kidding.
Good night
everybody.
from
Good
everybody.
night, all.
Good night
All
from
passes are
Stockport,
far, far,
UK.
far.
Thank you,
Always.
Julie and
Nice
Milo.
to meet
From
you.
New York. Here from
Thank you
Dubai.
very much.
Bye, everybody.
Have
God
a
bless.
blessed night. Good night, Maryland.
God bless
God
everybody.
bless you all.
Good night from West Virginia. Working away.
Hey, Chris.
Good night, everyone.
Good night from Cheviches,
Good night
Maryland.
from good team.
I don't have the control.
Everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Garmo, I'm working the Garmo. Get that camera off me.
Go to
Thank
bed,
you, Julie
Chris.
and Milo from the great state of Virginia.
Good night.
See you all at the
Good
next
night
time.
from
Where
Freeport,
your ears will
Louisiana.
pop.
Good night, Mama.
Night.
Good night, everyone. Stay
Good night,
well.
everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Good night, Miss Cynthia Brown.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Milo.
Good morning, good night, goodbye.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.